Welcome to The Gut Guru. I'm your host, Sarah Chopra, and we have a very special guest here today. I have the lovely Belinda McCawley. She is the founder of Mindful in Nature. And Belinda has an array of certifications, and I'm just going to mention a few. So she has a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Management, Diploma of Management, Diploma of Work Health and Safety, a Graduate Certificate in Sustainable Development, a Certificate in Environmental Practitioner, which we'll be discovering a little bit more on that, I'm sure, a Registered Meditation Teacher, accredited mental health first aider, and she is a part of the International Nature and Forest Therapy Alliance and an accredited forest therapy guide. And as a certified environmental practitioner, Belinda is committed to protecting and enhancing the environment for future generations. And she noticed even as a teenager, her worries faded as she walked in bushland. So that is the topic of today of, I guess, forest therapy and how Belinda is combining her day gig with her side gig. Welcome, Belinda. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's all right. And I just wanted to, get everyone a bit of a heads up, a bit of a story behind Belinda and I. We actually do know each other. We actually met a couple of years ago when we did our certification for meditation teacher training. That was in 2019. So for 6 months, every week on a Sunday, I think, what was it, 3 hours or something?
Yeah,
like that? Yeah, 2 or 3
hours. 3 hours.
Yeah, we met on a Sunday night, going through our teacher training on Zoom. So we're all over this scope. So you have the opportunity to watch this not only and listen to this episode as well. And we went through our whole teacher training for meditation during that process. And at the time, you were living up north in WA, and since then you've moved back down to Perth.
Yes.
Yeah. And how are you settling back in?
Well, actually, I moved back to Perth when COVID first became apparent in our community, which was really challenging because at the time I didn't have a job and I didn't have anywhere to live, and the world was kind of in upheaval, and even just finding a house to live in was challenging. But we've been here now for 18 months, so yeah, everything worked out okay. But nice to be back in Perth.
Yeah. Because how long were you up north for?
About 18 months. So a really wonderful experience, and nice to be back close to family and friends.
Yeah, totally, yes. Because you're very far up north, not just north, but really far up north. And in that 18 months, I mean, I know with the pandemic, everything did slow down. But in some ways, and I must admit, I feel that by taking the teacher training, it really did cement my daily practice, and I'm sure it did for you as well. I mean, we all had different reasons of why we wanted to become meditation facilitators. Are you able just to share your meditation journey and how you got there, and why how you got to a daily practice yourself?
Sure. Well, I discovered meditation probably about 5 or 6 years ago during quite a stressful time in my life, and I was introduced to meditation through my Bowen therapist and then my yoga teacher, Patty McBain, who then became my meditation coach, who I did my training with. And for me, it was a way to try and manage, my stress levels that I was experiencing at that time of my life. And I never really intended to be a meditation facilitator, actually. I wanted to deepen my own practice. I really I was experiencing the benefits, but I wanted to take that a little bit deeper. And it was a really transformational experience for me. Like I said, I never intended to be a facilitator. And I don't know whether you experienced this as well, but remember when we had to start doing our pracs, even at that time, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure that, I'm going to be a facilitator. But once I started on that journey, I really, really was surprised at how much I enjoyed sharing meditation, and how, I really wanted to share this to the world because there are so many benefits. And that's where I really connected with wanting to share with others the benefits of meditation. So yeah, that's how I've been on my meditation journey, and I have a daily practice. Sometimes I don't, but that's okay. And I think more so for me, I've been able to weave it into my life. And so it's not just the formal, 20 minutes or 10 minutes I sit down for every morning. It's the little pockets during my day that I can find to be mindful that I really experience the benefits.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's some of the beliefs as well, that I really do enjoy the informal side of it, because people do think, oh no, I have to take myself out, remove myself, put myself in a quiet room, away from noise and distraction, and so I can go inward, which yes, that can be, having that solitude and quiet times is beneficial, but you can actually, which we will get into in a little minute, you could actually be doing things at the same time and be meditating. So that's what gets me to, how did mindful forest bathing evolve?
Yes, well, it actually evolved quite organically, and it still continues to evolve organically. And if you had said to me, even 12 months ago, but definitely 18 months ago, that in 12 months' time I would have a business, guiding forest therapy walks and nature journaling activities and mindfulness experiences in nature, I'd be like, who is this person? It's happened very organically, and actually, I've been surrounded by some wonderful people who have really helped me on this journey, and have really allowed me to do some self-inquiry about, what is actually happening here, what's going on here. And when I completed the meditation facilitator course, I always knew that I wanted to somehow connect this with nature, because that is, yes, it's my day job, but it's also my passion, and it's also something that has been deep within me since those moments as a teenager where nature was really healing for me. And so, yeah, that's how it evolved. And I just had, Patty, who is my meditation coach, has been instrumental in helping me on my journey, because it has, been with her coaching that I think that this has evolved organically, and that support has been really important for me. So I actually, was doing a lot of self-inquiry and thinking, okay, where is this meditation facilitation going? And I then started researching how I could weave nature into my mindfulness practice and sharing that with others. And I discovered forest therapy, or Shindin Yoku, which is a public health practice, and it's evidence-based. And when I discovered this, it was a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
This is me. I need to do this. This is what I want to share with others and experience myself. So I looked at some courses that were available, and I reached out to the course provider, and the course was held in Victoria. And at the time, we were in COVID, a series of lockdowns, and it just wasn't possible for me to go to Victoria. So The organisation, the International Nature and Forest Therapy Alliance, agreed to facilitate the training for me online. So I did the training, and yeah, things have just happened from there.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what? Because you mentioned that sounds like a Japanese word.
Yes.
So what? So did it actually come from Japan?
Yeah. So Shindin Yoku actually translates to forest bathing,
Right.
and it's about taking in the forest atmosphere through all of your senses. And yes, it originated in Japan, and it originated in the 1980s. So this was a time of the Industrial Revolution, and people were really stressed, and they were becoming really ill from stress-related illness. And so the Japanese government introduced Shindin Yoku as a public health practice to improve the physical and mental health of their citizens.
Yeah.
And so now it's actually practiced worldwide. It's really popular in Asia and Europe, and it's really gaining some momentum in Australia, especially in the eastern states. There's quite a few forest therapy practitioners and guides, and yeah, here I am in Western Australia.
And are there I would assume that you're there's not many of you in WA. I mean, there's so much forest and beautiful national forest, but being WA, we sometimes, we get a little bit left out from the eastern side. Do you have any peers that there's a group of you doing forest therapy guiding?
There's not a group of us, but there's certainly a lot of people that are in this same space. It's a really multidisciplinary space. So there's a couple of associations that work with bush adventure therapy. But yeah, I have a lot of people that I'm affiliated with just through organisations. So there are lots of people that you can kind of network with and talk about this with. But I also have an affiliation with the association in Victoria, the International Nature and Forest Therapy Alliance, and I have we do regular professional development days and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I thought of the word forest bathing, it reminded me of the term. Actually in Scotland they derived forest schooling.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. You're aware of that as well. And
yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Excellent. Yeah, because there's a school just in near Perth, Bold Park, and they really sort of teach in that way where the kids are outdoors in nature quite heavily actually, and how that impacts and can change the learning outcomes for students, instead of just being at a desk in a room at a blackboard or I should say interactive board. Listen to me. 30.
I know what you mean by that.
Yes, fast forward. It's there's so much research to show how being outdoors in general is beneficial to our health and mental health as well. So you've got a few things going on now, regular little events. So if I wanted to participate in forest bathing, what would I expect?
Yeah, well, so I hold forest therapy walks in a couple of different locations. I'm currently at Kings River in the Lure Naturalist National Park. So when you come along to forest therapy, you can expect to firstly turn off your phone. So we make sure there is no distractions so we can really be fully present. And then we do a short introduction, and then we do a mindfulness activity. So we really ground ourselves and awaken our senses into the environment that we're in. And then we take a slow and gentle wander. And this is really where we get to slow our mind and body down. And when we do this, we notice nature in a different way. And we can notice things like, just hear the flight of a bird overhead. When you slow down, you really experience that. And then I offer a series of activities along the forest therapy trail, and these are quite often sensory or creative activities. And then we close the forest therapy session with a lovely Japanese-inspired tea ceremony, which is quite often one of my favourite parts, is coming together at the end and sharing in our experience and sharing in tea.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that's such a lovely addition to the whole experience. And what's the feedback been so far?
Oh, people really need this. People, as much as we can take a wander in nature, sometimes it's hard to slow down. So people really enjoy the slowing down. And actually, I guided a group from Kings Park Administration. So one of the men on this walk actually is really familiar with the trail that I guided this walk on. And he was a little bit skeptical about how this might affect him. But what was really interesting and powerful is at the end of it, he shared that, I wasn't really sure how this was going to work for me, but he saw things on that trail that he's never seen before. And it was really a profound experience for him because he actually slowed down. Whereas sometimes we're just walking in nature and we forget to actually notice the beauty around us. There are so many gifts on offer. And that's the importance, slowing down and having time to notice these gifts. And so people really enjoy that.
Yeah. It's even, and it's really very stimulating to all of our senses. Just the smells and the sound. Yeah, it's with such an abundant with birds as well. So yeah, I can just imagine it would be very rewarding. So you've mentioned I've noticed that you've been introducing journaling into your experience as well. So that I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is getting good. This is getting,
Yeah.
Another edition. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, look, nature journaling is really a wonderful way to cultivate curiosity, and it really allows you to have a deep connection with nature. And throughout, so the last 18 months, I have had a regular nature journaling practice, and it's been a profound experience for me. And absolutely, I also want to share this with everyone else. So the nature journaling workshops I'm now holding monthly. And this is where you come along, and similar, we begin the session with a mindfulness activity, and then we take a slow and gentle wander in nature to inspire creativity. Yeah. And then we go through a series of nature journaling activities, and this is where you can really connect with nature on a deeper level. And it's not actually about drawing pretty pictures. It's about recording your observations. And, we do this in a series of ways, but one of them is through pictures and numbers and words. So a really beautiful experience. And whenever I go for a wander now, I have this little bag with my journal and my pencils, and that always comes with me because I will just wander and then I will journal. It's really beautiful.
It's lovely, and it's really I suppose in those journaling moments as well, it's when you allow space into your life to stop and pause and slow down, you do have these kind of like epiphany moments, or just where maybe even a bit of clarity on a thought that or maybe a little problem that you've been thinking about, and it just somehow big things become a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I was wandering through my local bushland one day, and I discovered this toadstool, which is fungi, coming up through the bitumen. So there was a sealed path in nature, and this fungi was pushing through the bitumen. And when I saw that, I paused and I noticed what was going on here. You know, I really, I looked at this fungi and thought, wow, how incredible. You're actually emerging through this bitumen. And it taught me some, you know, it reminded me of things that were happening in my life at that point. And it taught me resilience, you know, and determination. It gave me little messages. It was brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to get through. I'm doing it. So you've mentioned a few things. You've got your journaling experience in nature once a month, did you say?
Yes, I'm holding those once a month at this stage, and the next one is on the 31st of July, but that's actually booked out. So the following one is the 22nd of August.
Oh, excellent. And then you've got your forest therapy as well. How often are they happening?
So they are fortnightly at the moment in Kings Park. So I'm there every second Saturday morning. Yeah. And there is a forest therapy walk in Margaret River, I think in August or October. I can't quite remember, but yeah, there is an activity happening down there.
Yes, you've got. Have you got a retreat coming up?
Yes, so this is really exciting. This is an entire weekend of nature immersion. So I've partnered with Perup, Nature's Guest House, which is down in Boyup Brook, and this is a beautiful, beautiful property, and it's so, I guess, isolated in a way that you know, we will be the only people there, and it's a small group, so it's going to be very quiet and very calming. And so that's at the end of August, 27th of August. And that's a 3-day, 2-night retreat. And we're going to be doing forest therapy. We're going to be doing nature journaling. And really exciting, we're actually doing a wildlife at night spotlighting walk. So yeah, we'll see some of the native fauna that have Perup as their home.
Yeah, oh, excellent. And did I see that because you're doing quite a few collaborations now as well, which I always love, because I'm like, yay, Perth supporting other Perth businesses. It's really, really lovely to see. Did I notice something, a tucker box?
Yes, so that's my dear friend Sammy, and she has a business, Tucker Box Creations.
Yeah.
And she's based in the southwest of Western Australia. She's in Capel. And we've actually collaborated with Chandrika Gibson from Surya Health, who is holding a retreat in Capel, and that's in November. So both Sammy and myself have partnered with Surya Health to bring this retreat to people. It's a cancer wellness retreat. So that's a really exciting collaboration, and I'm so looking forward to November.
Yeah, that's amazing. And if anyone wanted to listen to Chandrika actually was my yoga teacher trainer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And she's a naturopath as well. You know, those circles.
Yeah.
If anyone wanted to listen to Chandrika, I've actually interviewed her a couple of years ago about yoga therapy. Yeah, so if anyone wanted to suss that out. So if people wanted to find you, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me online. I have a website, mindfulforestbathing.com.au, and I'm also on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn. But of course, yeah, you can find me wandering in nature a lot of the time in Kings Park. So yeah, that's where I spend a lot of my time.
Oh, excellent. Well, I will be putting all those links for everyone to make it easier for you for everyone to find you as well. So don't fret if you couldn't remember some of those avenues. But oh, Belinda, thank you so much. I'm really excited, and I've to see you know, this experience evolving, and it just seems so natural for, it's like, oh, of course, it all makes sense, you know, this is your passion. And I totally agree with you when it comes to facilitating others in meditation. I think it's you know, you wouldn't do it unless you're passionate about it, and I think that's what keeps you going, doesn't it? Because you just want to share.
Yeah, it's the sharing, and it's the connection that you know, is really it really warms my heart. And yeah, it's for me, it's my life's purpose, sharing my passion. And yeah, if you'd like to experience it, come along.
Yeah, totally. And if you could describe something, you know, like, you know, when you sort of think of meditation and your own experience, is there something that unexpected that meditation has given you that you weren't expecting?
Yes, yes. It's awakened my creativity, which I didn't expect. And this is really clear to me now. And it's helped me with self-confidence, and that's to celebrate my uniqueness. You know, I really feel now that you know, mindfulness has helped me uh, get to that space. So yeah, it's all been a learning, and these little surprises are extra special, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, so that, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for coming on the show. And yeah, so if anyone wants to get in contact with Belinda, please do so. But otherwise, I will see you again soon, Bel. Thank you.
See you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem.